have in the pipeline approved transactions worth almost 50,000 crores, and therefore putting them in the pipeline and then going through it month by month or literally week by week should be possible.
When do you start to see the action pick up on the ground?
I can't tell you, I can't speculate because the markets are involved, but I can tell you we are in a state of readiness.
What about strategic sales, sir? Because we haven't seen forward movement.
You see, strategic sales, as I have said, I would be confining in the first instance to the areas which we have said. If loss-making units, there is an option. Hotels, there is an option. And if some other case comes up, we'll consider that option on a case-by-case basis.
Residual stake sale in companies like Hindustan Zinc and Balco, the companies are now looking at a merger and that has been given approval at least by the boards. What is the government's position?
I must tell you that even honest transactions, as in the case of hotels previously, as in the case of zinc earlier, stirred an unnecessary controversy. Now, I hope that controversy now comes to an end, with CBI also giving an indication that that was a perfectly honest transaction. The confidence of the civil service in spearheading those drives will certainly improve. We've already put in place adequate amendments to the Prevention of Corruption Act also, so that honest decision-making doesn't attract provisions of that act. I think in areas like defense purchases, in areas like divestment, these two changes will certainly play a very significant part.
But specifically on the Hindustan Zinc issue, because as you said, the CBI is likely to close the investigation for the want of evidence.
I have only seen headlines in the media.
Sure.
And if that were to happen, I'm sure it will send a good indication and strengthen government's ability to take an appropriate decision.
We do have the next parliament session coming up. The law minister and you yourself have had meetings with farmers' unions. Is there any thought, consideration to review your position as far as the consent clause is concerned?
I will tell you that in my meetings with the farmers' organizations have been very positive.
But they said consent must be brought back.
Well, they've given me a written notice, and their suggestion is contained in that notice. There also, there is some flexibility, I read, in whatever is the written memorandum given to me.
Do you expect trouble in Parliament on account of the fracas involving Sushma Swaraj, and how much of a setback is this going to be for your government?
No, there is no setback at all. I've already clarified. She acted perfectly bona fide. And issues will come up, and certainly the government will be ready for any discussion on the subject.
In fact, the finance minister also met the who's who of corporate America at a lunch hosted by KKR in New York yesterday. Sources say Jaitley met media mogul Rupert Murdoch and his son James Murdoch, the soon-to-be chief of 21st Century Fox. He also met Steve Kandarin of MetLife, Frank PC Nano, the CEO of First Data, and Roger Ferguson, the former vice chairman and board of governors at the U.S. Federal Reserve. Shireen Mohan caught up with Sanjay Nair of KKR, who was also at that lunch to find out what U.S. AG expects from India, and began by asking him about what the finance minister had to say to the small group of investors.
Try to give some real inputs to the finance minister, and also I think seek his vision for the future, which I think was the real intent of the meeting.
So at the end of this, do you come away feeling more confident about the India story? Because there has been a sense of restlessness, whether it's domestic investors or foreign investors, that while strategically this government is moving in the right direction, are you actually getting the nuts and bolts moving on the ground?
If you ask a lot of us who are obviously sitting in India, I think the work that they're doing on the ground is, there's a lot of work going on. I think it'll show up in due course, but if you look at some of the fundamental reforms, I think they don't seem to be absolutely visible right now, but this coming out of the meeting today, I think there's a really sincere effort at tackling something really head-on, like the banking reform. Just capitalizing the banks for higher growth. There's a lot more clarity, at least I have today, and I'm pretty close to the ground like you are, feel a lot better about the fact that there is a longer-term game plan, probably not well articulated, but if you listen to what the finance minister had to say, I think these pieces do add up. I think we do need a bit of luck to continue, the oil prices to continue to stay low, hopefully get a better monsoon. And I think some of the triggers are in place, spending on highways, roads, railways. I think all this should add up.
Did the CEOs who attended the lunch today walk away feeling reassured about India, feeling confident about India?
I think they got, my view is that they got a good strategic view from the finance minister in his own style, which I think was the most critical thing. This wasn't about a MAT or about a tax here or a tax there. This is more about the vision for India in a democratic environment like ours and a politically complex environment. And I think he did a pretty good job to tell the CEOs that there is a path, they're thinking about it, and they are being adequately, strategic and opportunistic where they are. So I would say people actually went back, there were only 6-7 of them, but they went back pretty enthused that, there's, I think people know what they're doing, and they're doing it in a kind of in a smart and a politically correct way.
All right, time for a break on that note. Coming up on After the Bell, Vedanta remains firm on Ken India's merger deal, says no to LIC for any sweetener. Details in just a short while.
CNBC TV 18, celebrating 15 years of leadership.
Welcome back. On to an exclusive. The Vedanta management is not willing to give in to the minority shareholders' demands, at least not just yet. CNBC TV 18 learns that Vedanta is not willing to sweeten the merger deal any further and plans to go ahead with its plans of issuing just preferential shares for Ken India shareholders. Now, what we understand from our sources is that LIC has now begun a complete due diligence on this particular merger, and going ahead, there are three different three divisions of the investment arm which will be studying the merger. What we understand from our sources is that once all the three investment arms come up with a detailed report is when LIC will take a call on if this merger is favorable to LIC's investment plans and to minority shareholders or not. They will submit their final decision, whether it's a yes or a no, to Vedanta and Ken by the 11th of July, which is when Vedanta has its AGM. Remember, LIC is not as crucial since it holds 9.09% in Ken India. If they say no, the merger will be called off. All right, moving on to the farm pharma space then. Drug maker Cipla is witnessing the largest ever churn in its top tech, which can lead to a complete overhaul in the management structure and even hit operations. Sources say in the last 4 months alone, Cipla has seen massive exits at the top tech and the posts are still vacant. Archana Shukla joins in now with the details. Archana, 7 resignations in 4 months. That's huge.
Well, yes, and what is pertinent to note is that the churn at Cipla's senior levels is taking place mostly amongst the recent hires. Now, the exit of CFO Rajesh Garg early this month, that too in just about a year of taking over, is the most prominent, but that's just one of the many. While that post is lying vacant, Cipla says CEO Subhanu Saxena is overseeing the finance function in the interim. But others, we understand, who have exited include India business head Sameer Goyal, who quit in just a year of taking over. That post is also reportedly still not filled. Company's global general counsel Murli Neelkantanan quit in February and Gautam Rohitkar has replaced him. Head of Human Resources Naveen Garg has exited and Samina Wazir Ali is taking over that additional responsibility. CSR head Sudhir Sharma, Chief Information Officer Arun Gupta, Licensing head Shubhra Mehrotra are some of the other senior exits, along with those from mid-management levels like that of MIS and quality compliance. Now, sources tell us that this churn is a result of Cipla attempting to reorganize overall and trying to get too much done too soon. This, sources say, has not gone down too well with many. And add to that an underlying management conflict between the new hires and that of Cipla veterans. Cipla, however, in an official comment to CNBC TV 18 said such instances are quite normal in a dynamic organization. In some cases, these changes are driven by changes in personal interests. The company went through a phase of bringing talent from the outside and now has enough talent within the company to grow and develop the internal bench. However, the company did not respond to CNBC TV 18's specific query on whether these posts have been filled or are they still lying vacant. Back to you.
All right, Archana, thanks for that. In fact, the stock fell by almost 2% after Archana broke that story. Time for another break. Coming up on the other side, Prime Minister's renewable energy mission gets 60,000 crore rupee boost from the PSU banks. That exclusive story on the other side. Stay right there.
TV18, celebrating 15 years of leadership.
Welcome back. It's pouring outside in Mumbai, but it's raining exclusive right here on CNBC TV18. Here's another one. A day after the cabinet approved hiking of solar energy targets by 5